Hello, sir.
Sorry about that. I think it was my fault. Um, I forgot what we were talking about. Do you remember? What's going on? Triple T, do you remember what we were talking about?
The last thing we mentioned is Keir Starmer's boyish, handsome, good looks.
Yeah. So, do you feel like, do you feel, how do you feel as a young Muslim Asian person living in Britain in 2026? Do you feel, how do you feel, man?
I feel absolutely fantastic. One of the things I feel stuff going on, it's made me more intrigued into religion. I was more like a cultural Muslim, but the more people say, hold on, you have to stone a woman to death, and you have to, when I hear these things, and I'm like, hold on, like you mentioned, I think you mentioned previously, or I saw it somewhere, blasphemy laws. And you say, and I'm thinking, why would the Prophet Muhammad say there's blasphemy laws when in the Quran says that there is no compulsion in religion? You can't force anyone to be Muslim. So I saw a contradiction, and then I thought, hold on, I need to look at this. So I went into a little bit of a deep dive, I guess, and I saw that people would convert to Islam in the morning, and by evening they would leave. Now, what would happen in between that time, that 24-hour period, they would start rumors and they would cause all sorts of hell, making the Muslims believe something which isn't true. And the Prophet would come back and say, look, we had a peace treaty with these people. What happened? And then they would say, no, no, the peace treaty was broken because of this guy. And the Prophet said, which guy? That guy who just converted. Where is he now? Oh, we don't know where he is. So the Prophet realized that these are infiltrators, instigators within the Islamic faith that are causing hell, and this would happen repeatedly. So he said, look, that's it. If anyone that spread the word, if anyone converts, that's it. If they leave, we're gonna end them. And that was his way of keeping those traitor people out. And I think that it was the right thing to do. Any wise general would have done exactly the same thing. There are no laws. He did state it. It was for a specific reason, and I can understand that reason. Until this day, if you want to even implement that law, they allow you to leave Islam, but they don't allow you to cause mischief, meaning they don't allow you to be responsible for others being hurt. So it makes me understand Islam better. And I'm on my own journey. I'm learning more and more because of situations like this. When people pose the questions, like as you mentioned, your lady friend in America would say, "What about this?" And how about the women and handshaking and not handshaking and all this. And I'm learning more and more. But England is my home. And I want to on the other Lubna, candidate Lubna, on her show, somebody asked me, "Oh, are you happy to like?" Still my country. I still live here. This is where my parents, grandparents lived and died. And so this will always be my country in that sense. And I have a whole special affinity to this country. Do I like every single thing about it? No. Do I hate everything about it? No. This is just home.
Yeah.
And home is where the heart is.
Live chat. Hey, Sky Rollison, Joe. Hey guys, chime in if you want. I mean, we don't have to talk about religion all day. Whatever's affecting you. If you have a question, we're just two young brown men, too cool for school, shooting the breeze. Um, Triple T. One question, controversial. Can a gay be a Muslim? A gay guy. Let's say a gay guy comes, whether maybe he's a Muslim already, or maybe he's even not. He's a white guy, gay, fruity as
Yeah.
hell, and he says, "Hey, I love your religion. I want to convert." What do you tell him? I know you're not a
Well,
person that converts people, but like, what best advice would you
yeah.
give?
Well, I mean, I'm not the converting man, but I would say what the Prophet Muhammad said when somebody asked him, "How do I get to heaven?" And his response was simply this, that believe in God and be upright. He didn't say go to Hajj. He didn't say dress like this, and he didn't say eat, spicy foods and anything. He just said believe in God and be upright. Now, if you can be upright, that's all that really matters. And if you believe in God, that's fine too. But being upright is the most important thing. Can somebody be gay and Muslim? As far as I'm concerned, yes, 100% they can. And not only can they, people are. Dr. Sheikh Omar Suleiman from America stated in his sermon, and I verified this when I went onto Google. At that time, Pakistan was, and I think you know what I'm going to say, there was the most amount of homosexual porn was watched in Pakistan.
That's a
It-
fact.
this was a fact stated in a mosque, and anyone can check this. Now, if people are watching gay porn to that extent, in the tens and fifties or millions, then is it not time that we started to think, hold on, what's going on here? And if it is going on, then there needs to be a different kind of thinking. Like people shouldn't get married, and that poor girl's gonna suffer, and there's going to be more, and the blame is going to be on that woman, and they're probably going to get married because of social pressure. If a 30-year-old man's not married, or 35, they're probably going to call him gay, which he is gay, but he doesn't want anyone to know about this. And so we're going around in a circle. When is that day going to come when we're going to speak the truth, in the sense that people are holding hands, grown ass men are holding each other's hands, they've got the arms over each other's shoulders, they're walking, they're looking at each other lovingly, deep into each other's soul and into their eyes and so on. If they did this and they're speaking to their um, friend slash gay lover for hours upon hours and FaceTiming for hours upon hours, something's got to give. Someone has to hold on a minute. You are married. And so I think personally, yeah, be gay, be Muslim, and it's all good. What say you?
Um, Funny enough, I knew a guy from Bangladesh. I think I've told this story before on Lessons for Life, maybe, but basically, this guy was a Bengali Muslim, and he was gay. Basically, but he lived like opposite a Pakistani barber store. So the barber store was always filled with Pakistanis, and when it's a local community, they tend to be probably a bit more judgy, nosy, and a bit more observant of that. And once his brother came into the barber shop, I didn't ask him why his brother's gay. I didn't say nothing. And he just unloaded on me. He said, "Oh, my brother, he's just, I don't know why he's that way. I don't know what's happened to him. I wish I knew, blah, blah, blah." Anyway, fast forward to maybe 10 years after that conversation. I see that he's got a son. So he's got off that track and back to his normal ways that he once upon a time
I
was.
disagree with that. Disagree a little bit with that, because one of my best friends for about 10 years was gay. Uh,
Muslim.
Tintin, he, he was not Muslim. He was one of those genius Chinese geezers. And he told me that with the gay boys, what they do is they get married. I said, look, must be tough, getting married and you're having kids and so on. And he said that they get married and they get on, but their mind is somewhere else. Everything they're doing, their eyes are closed and they are thinking of God knows what, some madness with some geezer down the road, or Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or whoever else, or you know, Shah Rukh Khan or whoever they're thinking of. Their mind is somewhere else. I had to add a. I was gonna say the king of all brands, but but
So
their mind is somewhere else. Saj, do you understand? The mind. We have to go to the root cause of the problem. The mind is somewhere else. The mind is with another bloke. They have a kid, but that thing probably doesn't go out from them. I don't think. I'm not sure. You tell me.
hold up a second. So it almost sounds like would you insinuate that it's a mental disorder?
I think it's a preference that needs help. Like my addiction, for some people, mine was cigarettes as well for many years, decades. I smoked 30 a day.
Crisps, about
Excuse me?
30 a day.
Chris, yeah,
Crisp.
yeah, you're famous. You are famous. We've got Bros Ids saying, "What the f are you talking about? We're just talking about anything. We're talking about gay people currently, but we're flowing. We're going with the flow. Um, uh, uh, with bros, we're going with the flow, and who knows where we'll end up. But for now, we're just speaking about homosexuality. Do you support it? Are you with it? Because even if you support it, 20 years ago you didn't. 30 years ago your parents didn't. So times change. It was against the law in the 80s to be gay right here in this country. So times change, thinking changes, and now I think it's the stage where Muslims have to say, hold on, this man's gay, let's not get him married. This is that time, I think.
So here's the thing, Triple T. Um, this this girl put me down to my senses once. So once I was, everyone's a bit immature when they understand things a bit differently. I was in the car with her. She's a very liberal American, and I said to her, "Yo, this gay stuff, it's so abnormal." I just started going in about homosexuality, and she turned around and said to me, um, "That where's Triple T?" Anyway, she turned around and said to me, guys, she turned around and said to me, hold up a second, you're a Muslim? I said, yeah. She said to me, well, how, she goes to me, you would know exactly what it feels like to be like targeted or victimized based on your life choices being a Muslim. And I shut up. I didn't know what to say because she had a point. She said to me that basically you're here judging these guys for being gay, whereas people judge you all the time, and you know what it feels like to be judged. It's not a nice feeling. So yeah, there's that as well. Triple T has left us. Hang on a second. Let's see. Oh, is he back? Hey, live chat. Sorry, I haven't been hitting you up. We've been engaged. Leslie, hey. Sly Rollison, you okay? Hey, hey, hey. Natalie, hey. Bros Edits, what the F you talking about? Hey, hey. Said hi. Yo, man. If anyone likes these discussions or want to talk about anything else, you're more than welcome to talk about anything else. None of this is kind of like planned discussion. It's just freestyle in the breeze, shooting the breeze. What's happening here, Triple T? It keeps disconnecting.
The majority of the UK is not Muslim. And statistically, to the people that are going to benefit from it and the people that aren't going to benefit from it, the beneficiaries are less.
So check this out, guys.
Hearing it are less to
Denmark
Muslims or everybody else who's not following it.
set to ban mosques from broadcasting the call to prayer. I mean, it's a European land, so people have commented on this subject, saying, are they banning church bells? I mean, so scrap the church bells in the UK as well. That's true, I guess. I mean, and then people are like, no religion should be put above the law. When Triple T comes back, we'll talk about the you know. Who's the one person in the live chat? Who we got here? Yo, fire ahead, man. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, you said bye. You disappeared. We have no one in the live chat right now. We had Triple T's back. Triple T. Hang on a second. Guys, we're waiting for Triple T to join us. Let's see if Triple T can join us. When he does join us, Triple T, we will talk about Denmark banning the call to prayer. The call to prayer for Muslims. Triple T. Triple T. Triple T. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on with Triple T's internet. Boom, 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 boom. Reacted to go live together. Please work. Triple T keeps trying to join and it keeps failing. Yes, Triple T's back. Triple T.
Yes, sir.
But hey, I got a question for you. It's just hit the radar. It's quite a hot topic. Denmark banning the call to prayer. Does the call to prayer fit in European, especially in today's climate, or does it aggravate more hate?
Well, one of the very few times that I've actually shed tears is when I was in the holy city of Medina, not really bothered about Islam, just there to do a job that I had to do. And I stood outside, and as I heard the prayer of Islam being called, I froze exactly where I was, and I couldn't move. It was like inexplicable joy, perhaps, or sadness or tears of joy. I don't know what to say, but it truly was unexplainable. And if it's that type of prayer, as it is in Mecca and Medina, I support that. But if it's just the ordinary Tom and Abdul and so on, I'm not too keen on disturbing people. Norway should still allow it to some degree, not the morning ones, because you want to include everyone's religion. You know, you want people to feel at home. If you don't want people to feel at home, just simply tell them to pack your bags and get on your camel.
Yeah, I'm just typing the question in the chat. Is call of prayer in Europe, um, Europe,
Compatible, I guess.
yeah, permissible? But
And
basically, I don't agree. I mean, I
is
know
it
what you mean.
necessary though? Because back in those days, it was necessary for people to know what time it was.
Yeah, but now people are saying you have clocks and your alarm and your phone. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, I do. If there's a person who has the most beautiful voice in the world, then fine. He's the best singer in the world, and it's great to hear. But if it's just a random, taxi man, I remember when I came back from Tunisia, and I got a taxi, and the guy was just, he just had this negative attitude. He didn't say a word. Everything about him, the car smelled bad. Everything about him was bad. All I said to him was hello, my destination. He drove me there. Now, when I went to the mosque on that same day, on that Friday, and I stood there, and right beside me was that same taxi driver. Like the odds of that were in the billions. Now, we both knew what time the prayer was. And there was no need for the call to prayer. And I think now it's a case of just, putting it out there, like being the bee's knees. Look at me, I can, sing and song and so on. If you can beautifully, then go for it. But if you can't, just let it be.
So we got Tarkadal, which I might be able to guess your ethnicity with that one, boy. Said that Islam should not be permissible in Europe and Mecca should be flattened.
Interesting.
I think you might want to spell Mecca without the H, buddy. But other than that,
but I mean, yeah, but let's look. But then I can say that about Rome. I can say, we can say that like how many Westerners do we have in Dubai, and even especially now in Saudi Arabia, so many Westerners living there.
Sons of Tommy Robinsons are going to Dubai. It doesn't make sense. It's the most contradictory thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and flattening a place, that's talk from like 300, 500 years ago. We don't use that type of discussion unless your mind is 500 years back, then that can be understandable. But we don't flatten places because there could be many innocent people around, and they are around, and they're doing great work out there. And so flattening any place, no. So I disagree with it, and I'm sure, Sad, you too also disagree with flattening places.
Is your issue to do with the faith, or is it to do with people of the faith? Have you had some sort of tragic experiences with Muslims? Going back to the call of prayer in Europe, I personally think, as much as you mentioned your personal experience, I wanted you to answer it hypothetically speaking for others. Speaking as just you as a white European man having a bacon sandwich and you had your Guinness there.
Yeah.
Guinness there. It's a nice hot day. You got your England flag waving, raising the colors, and then you hear the call to prayer. How does it make you feel? Now let's talk from that perspective.
Well, it would make an Englishman feel.
Hold on 1 second. You can, if you put me in mod, I will sub. How do you put someone in the mod? Do you know?
No idea. So I'm way behind this stuff. I don't even know where we are.
I figured it out. Can remove and okay, yeah. I'm adding you as a moderator. Test dummy Tatone is whatever. Yeah, go on. Let's go back to that. Sorry.
I think you might have shot yourself in the foot there, but let's see how that works out. If I was seated there with a pint and with a sandwich as such, and I hear the call to prayer, and I'm an Englishman, a white Englishman, I would feel disgust that my country has been overrun. For that minute, maybe for that 2 minutes, I would feel rage, unnecessary, nonsensical rage, and it's linked with the media and everything I've been watching on social media. But 2 minutes in 1 week, if some and what is it that people are saying? That's another thing. What is it that they're singing? They're singing, God is great. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger. Come to pray. Prayer is success. That's it. That's it. Now, does that make such a difference where you're filled with rage and you want to do something? It's just silly. It's just stupid. Let people be.
I've known a
But
lot of white. Well, I always say white people. Let's say a lot of non-Muslims that have gone to Muslim countries and they've heard it there and absolutely fell in love with it there.
yeah,
But when it's
yeah.
here, it's more to do with we're being taken over by those Muslims. Now they've got this permission,
Yeah, I mean, it's only a couple of minutes. There's nothing taken over really. Here in Luton, we've got a whole white Muslim community. So we've got we've got Albanian mosque next to the Somali mosque, and then we've got the English white mosque, and that's their own thing. Islam isn't so different with the values of England, just be upright and be the best that you can be. And, the prayer, I think people just need to understand. If they can understand what those words mean, I think it would spread some sort of peace. What say you?
I'm open to always. I love most of my friends are non-Muslims. One even like is a gay guy that I've known for many years. I've always been open to people as just people. Um, when I worked in customer service, some Muslim people I knew they didn't want to serve Jewish people. They said that they are arrogant. I refuse to, and I never do that. I never done that because I feel like they still people, and regardless of
No,
their
but
faith.
that's the dumbest reason not to serve someone if they're arrogant. Perhaps those people you speak of, they had bad experiences with those customers. They say Jews are tight. I don't know how much of that is true. Perhaps they were referring to the tips that they give. I'm not sure.
Indians can also class as Thai. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the videos in Thailand where five of them are sharing one drink.
And they steal the hair dryers and the soap and shampoo and so on from the hotel, and then they get caught out. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. The new moderator has been retracting a lot of messages that seem like they've been a bit abusive. So I think the moderator, from what it seems, he's hidden Bro Edit's message, and Bro Edit seemed a bit rude earlier. So I think yeah, Test Dummy. He subscribed to the channel, so who knows?
I
He
mean,
might be.
he's great, but I think, I believe in freedom of speech. I think everyone, you know,
Yeah,
we're grown men. We can handle it if somebody mentions the F word or whichever word.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
So
true,
let
and it
people
gives
be.
more substance. I would rather, yeah. Let it go. Admin test dummy. Let some go. Let's just see what people are saying. We're curious to see. We're open minded to
We've got
find.
David Vickers saying free Andy Pandy. Andy Pandy, isn't that the Blue Peters? Blue Peters, one of the broadcasters, the host. I'm not sure. Andy Pandy rings a bell.
He said Andy Randy.
Randy Andy Pandy.
Andy Randy is Prince Andrew.
Oh,
Nickname given to Prince Andrew due to his playboy lifestyle. Was he a playboy guy?
I don't know. It seems evil, but when you're on that level, I'm sure that when you walk down the street, everyone flocked towards him and said, "Hey, how about it?" Yeah.
Have you ever experienced any forms of racism slash Islamophobiaism in your whole life living in Luton or the UK?
Yeah, I think
And also, do you think the race card gets played way more
Yeah.
than it?
Yeah, I don't think most people are racist, and there is racism. People do. I got attacked by the skinheads when I was younger, which was very scary. I had stitches done, but that was a long time ago. Um,
Discuss it. What happened?
well, there's nothing to discuss. I was just walking along with my family, my mom, and we were attacked by skinheads. As simple as that.
For no reason. Well, based on your work.
Yeah, but it's probably the way well, it's obviously we're different because of the difference. And but it was a long time ago, and I'm sure, those people have regrets. I'm
Yeah.
sure that now, years later, decades later, they have regrets for what they did. It's very easy to play the race card. I was at a dinner party once where um, one of the participants of that dinner party blocked the driveway of an African woman. And the African woman knocked on the door and said, "Someone's blocked my driveway," very aggressively. And I said, "I'm so sorry. Let me find the person." When I found the person, that person was the exact same color as the black lady. And the first thing he said is, "She's racist." And I'm like, "You've blocked her driveway. One, you're at fault here. And you are exactly the same color as her. How on earth is she racist?" Now, obviously, I didn't say that, but I thought, you know what, we do play the race card a bit too easily. And perhaps that's a natural thing to do. When we see someone, we can bring them down somehow. We,
Uh, Hold on 1 second. Test
yes, sir.
dummy for what you're doing there. Do whatever you feel like's great, bro. You're doing a great job, and I appreciate the help. Going back to what you just said about the race. Do you feel like there's some races that play the race card more? Some people would say,
Yeah, the race card is played by all. The testament is saying that there's some kids here, and I never thought of that. Imagine kids listening to us. That's a terrible life. They should be watching cartoons or something, or whatever the kids do nowadays. The card is played way too quickly, and I think it's a natural reaction to anger. But overall, I think for me, Restore do have a policy. There's no way they're going to get in. The remigration policy is very interesting, where people born here must leave. A part of me wants that to happen. I have to secretly admit,
I never knew that.
because a change is good, and I think I would love to move to Hawaii. And a change is great. It would be a nice thing, and everyone would be happy, and there would be bliss in England. And with my English friends and everyone, I want English people to be happy. So if that's the vote, then we should really be happy for them as we vacate this land of Britannia. So next election will be very, very interesting. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, test dummy, do what you want. Like, he's already subscribing. That's very nice of you. And yeah, if there are kids involved, I mean, we can't tell who are kids on the thing, but
But
do
what a
what you.
world we live in, Saj. What a world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned about people possibly that are born here of ethnic minority, which I find that word to be quite degrading, to be honest.
Degrading or not, it's a
Yeah.
reality, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but are ethnics really the minority? Are they more colored people than whites in the world? I wonder.
Well, India, the brown people of this world get
Yeah, the best.
very well. The brown, or should I say, the browns get very little understanding of being such a majority. If we combine India, as in the entire Pakistan and Bangladesh included, we're looking at billions, and then you've got hundreds of millions probably in all over Latin America. So we are probably half the world. Brown people are half the world. Now, what's interesting with the browns is you don't get brown people saying, "Oh, the browns." You have people saying the whites and the blacks. The reason we don't mention browns
Yeah.
is browns is not distinctive. any brown person can be from anywhere in Arabia, anywhere in Latin America, even Spain or Italy and India and beyond. So there's nothing distinctive about the brown. Whites will always come, it's gonna come, their roots are gonna come back to Europe, and blacks' roots are gonna go back to Africa. Our roots could be anywhere.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. I mean,
Absolutely. Sorry, please.
now there was a question I wanted to ask you about the Reform Party. So, um, you said, oh yeah, you said that there's no chance they'll get in. Do you believe that they won't win? I think they might.
Restore is a party splinter group of reform. They will very unlikely get in. They do have a lot of membership. There's no doubt about it, more than the Conservatives, but it would be shocking if they got in. Nigel in reform is very likely to win, but this 5 million issue that he has, he could be banned from standing, and then next in charge would be Mohammed Zia Yusuf. So I'm not sure
I don't understand.
how.
Is he? Is he a
Sorry?
Christian? What is he? Is
No,
he a
he's
Christian?
No, he's a devout Muslim.
Ah,
Second in charge, very intelligent man, self-made millionaire. Is a devout Muslim, and we shall see what happens in 2029. Mr. Saj, I've enjoyed being on here. I've got another show to go to, so with your permission, I would like to take my leave.
Joe.
I've got another show to be on, so with your permission.
Okay. King of All Brown salutes you. This was the first, and it definitely won't be the last.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Yeah, see you later. So Triple T has just left us, guys. We're down to a few people still hanging around. Thank you guys for joining. This is all a bit raw, new, fresh experience for me. I do videos. Check out my channel. It's all to do with travel stuff, but I'm trying to convince myself to do more lives just to see what the world is thinking in current time, you know. It doesn't always have to be politics. It doesn't always have to be religion, but those are the hot things that seem to matter these days on people's mind. So yeah, thank you guys for joining, and salute. Where did the other go? Tell me, you're more than welcome to. Now that you subscribe, probably not this time because I might go now as well. But you're more than welcome to jump on live if you ever want to. That would be awesome. Oh, you can YouTube message now as well, guys. So hit me up on YouTube via message.